I'm back now with the former Republican Congressman Joe Walsh, host of The Social Contract with Joe Walsh, author of F Silence. After decades as a dedicated Republican, Walsh is now a registered Democrat, which puts you in an interesting position to have this discussion because A, you're a new member of the Democratic Party, B, you're a guy who's gone against Trump, C, you're a guy who has some roots in some of the trouble we're seeing with the Republican Party, the extremism we're seeing in the Republican Party today. So you have a whole bunch of perspectives in one person about what success in this fight looks like for the Democratic Party. I'd like your take on it, my friend.
Ali, good to be with you. Look, I've been a Democrat for just over 2 months now, and I still get asked every single day, why the heck did you do it, Joe? Why are you a Democrat? I understand the question because I'm a former Tea Party guy. But Ali, my answer would be everybody who's asking me that question should watch your 5 to 7 minute monologue at the top of this hour, which so aptly describes our situation. We've got 2 major political parties in this country, and one of our 2 major political parties, my former party, has utterly given up on democracy and utterly abandoned the rule of law. You laid it all out there perfectly. Ali, I get asked a lot to do foreign media. And when I do foreign media, they always ask me, Joe, are you worried about authoritarianism or fascism coming to America? Man, my answer always is, it's here.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you described that. The guy, and I know fascism is a heavy term.
Sure it is.
But I'll say it. We have a fascist in the White House. He's suppressing his opposition. He's persecuting his political opponents. He's glorifying and using the military. He's dominating the private economy. He's suppressing our individual liberties. And Ali, look, like all great dictators, he came to power preaching about a nation in decline. Who's to blame for that nation in decline? Brown and black people and Muslims. So look what he's doing, Ali. He's disappearing brown and black people off of our streets. He's denying student visas to Muslim students who want to come here. It's all happening now, and we need to face that.
So here's the thing. The other thing about Joe Walsh, if you've followed his career like I have, is that you're all in on whatever you're in on. And so this is a moment for the Democratic Party because you're the new guy, and sometimes the new guy doesn't want to make the biggest fuss. But there's something wrong in the Democratic Party that you've newly joined right now, and that is that it is lagging behind what a whole bunch of people, Democrats or Republicans, a whole bunch of regular Americans are really mad about stuff that's going on, and they're getting frustrated by the leadership of the Democratic Party that seems to be lagging behind them.
Amen, Ali. Meet the effing moment. And Ali, all you got to do is look at me, right? I've been a Democrat for 2.5 months. So how have you been received, Joe Walsh, former Tea Party guy? You know what, Ali, generally, the Democratic grassroots, Democratic voters, man, they've said, welcome, Joe. We're fighting to save democracy, Joe. You and I may disagree about certain policies, energy policy, health policy. Doesn't matter right now. Welcome to the fight, Joe. But Ali, the Democratic Party establishment, not so much.
Yeah.
A little wary, right? Joe Walsh, Tea Party guy, now a Democrat. Oh, come on. Can the tent be that big? I want to scream. I think every member of the Democratic Party establishment should be required to watch your opening 5 to 7 minutes because, Ali, the party, the establishment, the leadership, they are not meeting this moment. They do not recognize this moment. But the average Democratic voter out there is going to, and we are going to drag the party kicking and screaming to meet this moment.
Yeah, and I think it's really important, this point you make, that because you and I have had policy disagreements over time, and boy, we both pray for the day that we can just talk about that, right? Like, I'd like to be on the other side of something from you because you're a great debater and you bring up interesting points. None of that matters right now. None of that matters right now. So this navel-gazy conversation about more moderate, more centrist, more progressive, more liberal, it's not a conversation for now. The conversation for now is pulling back from fascism, reclaiming this country, letting the voters control what actually happens.
Spot on, Ali. And again, I've said before to you and others, the greatest failure of these Trump years is the failure of imagination. The American people have never imagined how bad he'd get, how low he'd go. So think about this. You had a wonderful candidate for Congress on before me, Rebecca Cook.
Yeah.
If she and the rest of my new party do not take over the House of Representatives, I don't think Donald Trump will leave the White House in 2028. Oh my God, there goes Joe Walsh, Allie. There he goes saying crazy stuff again.
But there are troops in the streets of D.C. He's talking about sending troops into Chicago. He's already done it in L.A. Why is that a crazy view that he might not leave office?
It's not at all a crazy view, and he wants the American people, as you said, to get used to his troops on the street. And so what's at stake? I know so many Americans, right? The price of eggs, the price of that new truck.
All true.
Here's what's at stake. If all true, but damn it, wake up. Democracy's more important. If Democrats don't take back the House in 26, I don't think Trump will leave the White House in 28. Does that matter to you, American people? Wake up. Wake up.
Well said, my friend. Thank you. Former Republican Congressman Joe Walsh,
Ellie.
author of F Silence, calling Trump out for the cultish, moronic, authoritarian con man he is.